Hello, my feral ratties. We're here for another episode. We made it. Wow. I am proud. Hope everyone is having a great day, had a great day, on their way to a great day. Let's get into it. I thought I would start off by talking about a little book lore because I'm hoping that you guys are kind of bookos too. First of all, would love recommendations. Not that my TBR is not like immensely long in the first place, but I still would love more. But here's the thing. There's got to be smut. And I'm not talking about like innocent. There's going to be a lot. I can make an exception for some, but it has to be like a really, really good book. Like, for example, like Nightingale. That book was like so phenomenal that like if there was smut in it, it would have literally ruined it. But like what is it say? Like Legacy of the Gods. I read that in the beginning of the year, and Chef's Kiss. Love that. Love me a dark romance. Had plenty of smut. Currently, obviously, I'm on Onyx Storm. This is about how far through I am. I'm trying to savor it because I think I saw somewhere where she was like talking about that, like she like has this process where she does like her like Empyrean books and then like a contemporary romance and then goes back. So, and then I saw something on TikTok that was like 2027. So I'm like, regardless, it's going to be a really long time. So I'm going to try to savor it. Plus, I just really haven't had the time. I'm also trying to become one of those girls who like tabs pages. I'm not committed to highlighting yet, but I am going to try to start tabbing. And then we can't forget about my trusty dusty Kindle. I usually use my Kindle for most things. Like I'm not usually like a book, like physical book girly because I feel like, well, what happens when I finish it? Because not to brag or anything, but I ended up reading like 115 books for 2024. Yeah. I don't really know how I did it either. The fact that probably I don't really sleep once I start reading a book that's really good and I can't put it down. Plus I'm big, at least like on my Kindle. I love to find a book that's like 400, 500 pages because I can finish it in a day. Guarantee you. I can finish it in a day. So, I've also switched from being a Goodreads girly to a Fable girly, and I'm a fan mainly just for the aesthetic and like some of the like content it shows you. And then there's like book clubs. I've joined some of them. It's not really like what I was looking for because I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I would love to be in a book club. It's not really like that. It's like there's like a lobby, of course, and then like you can make polls and like you can read with people. And there's like discussions for each chapter, but it's really like up to you to participate. There's not like scheduled meetings and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to obviously read, but like I would like to have like a scheduled sit down to talk about this with people and not just like type up stuff, you know? But I do like Fable. So let me look and see what my Fable user is. I don't really know how all of that works quite yet, but I'm enjoying it more than Goodreads. It's just like Goodreads is just like out of style, I feel like. I don't know. What is my username? I'll figure out my username and hopefully let you know next podcast because I don't know how that works. But if you want to look me up on there, it's just Sal. My other favorite thing about like reading and like my specific type of reading is there's like so many moments where I'll have like coworkers be like, "Oh my God, like you like to read? Like what are you reading?" And I'm like, yeah, so that's crazy. So I usually try to think like, okay, what are some non-smut books that I've read recently or like some that are like not overwhelming? Because I find that I do need a break in between sometimes. Like if I've been reading like a lot of dark romance, I need like something light and airy. Or as I mentioned in the last episode, I'm a huge fan of reading really fucking sad books because it helps me cry. Otherwise, I'm not going to cry. and this is probably an unpopular opinion, and right now I'm probably being really niche, so I'm sorry to the listeners who are not book people, but The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros, again, like the Fourth Wing Queen, I didn't cry. I don't know if that probably says more about me than it does her, because like I saw everyone on TikTok talking about how it was like gut wrenching, and I'm like, okay, fuck yes, like I need this. I mean, like it was really sad, but did I ever get to the point of like true crying? No. Nightingale, absolutely. I was sobbing, literally sobbing. What's the other one? Like, 1,000 Boy Kisses and then like 1,000 Broken Pieces. First of all, I felt like I was so scared to try the books because one, super young adult, obviously. Two, when you look on TikTok, there's like so much controversy where some people are like, oh my God, they were great. And then other people are like, they were the most cringe books I've ever read. And I'm like, oh, so good. Both of them. Cried my freaking eyes out. So anyways, if you have any recommendations, please, comment, drop them below. I doubt I will be through Onyx Storm within the next couple of episodes because like I said, I'm really trying to savor it. But I'm hoping I'll finish it soon. I've been like reading other books in between reading this, which I never do because I find that it's hard to like remember like both plot lines, but I have been because I'm like, Plus I did a whole reread. I did Fourth Wing and then Iron Flame right before so I could like remember everything. And no offense, but Iron Flame is just really not that good. Like there's some good moments in it, but it really is not that good. So I'm like trying to muster up the like energy to be like, yeah, Onyx is gonna be great. Okay, what else? I was talking to my friend the other day because we were talking about like going to the casino and like wanting to do like a girlies and gays weekend, maybe in like NOLA or something. And I was like, oh my God, like we should go to Harrah's, like my old stomping grounds, and like we should go to the casino or whatever. Like we could probably even like find a room and stay there, and it would probably be just as expensive as an Airbnb. And he was like, I'll go, but like I'm not gambling. Like I will fully support you at the blackjack table because that's where I belong. And I'm like, but why? And he's like, I just can't get behind it. And I'm like, are you like one of those people who thinks that like gambling is gonna make you like addicted and you're not gonna be able to like do anything else but gamble? And you're just like, no, like I just don't see the point in why would I spend my money on something that I might not get money back on. I'm like, valid. But I grew up in a family that hardcore loves to gamble. So like my nanny, my great grandmother, whom is still alive, go off queen. And then this is how you're gonna know I'm from the country. My Mimi is also Miss Gambling Queen, and same thing with my papa. So basically, like, my mom's side of the family in Mississippi, huge. Most of them like love to go to the casino to the point where like my nanny could call up and get a free room. I like the Silver Star in Philadelphia, Mississippi, and I just remember being a kid, because like back in the day, like it wasn't like you had like. I mean, like I think you still had the cards, but I don't know. I think you had the cards, but I don't think they did the same thing they did now. But like obviously now, you like can insert cash into them. You can like put your voucher in there. But like back in the day, no, it used to be like buckets. Like you legit had buckets. So if you were at the penny machine, you had a bucket of pennies. And also back in the day, nobody gave a fuck about a kid being on the casino floor because like, I don't know, nobody cared. So I remember I used to love when they would say we were going to the casino for the weekend because one, we would get like the big suite that had like multiple rooms in it. And I was like thinking that we were like the bougiest people on the planet. We're talking about a place in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Not saying that it probably wasn't like worth a decent amount of money, but like it's no Sheraton. Anywho, So I used to get so excited because I was like, yes, Nanny's going to be our bucket girl. So I had the honors of like just following her around and carrying her bucket. And, you know, like if you won too, it wasn't like, you know, like it just stayed on the screen, like no high tech, you know what I mean? Like it would come out, the pennies, the quarters, whatever would be like coming out. So you had to have like buckets to catch them. And then it was like almost like, I'm trying to think of like when you go to the arcade or something like that and like you, or like, no, not the arcade. Like when you go to Publix and you go to like the Coinstar and you're like putting all your extra change. So then it's kind of what you would do at the end of the night. Then you would take your bucket and like then you would get like some voucher that said how much you had and you could take it to the counter or whatever. But that used to make me feel like the coolest person on the planet. And I just miss that. I mean, obviously I can go on the casino floor, but I'm like, how cool would it be to just be throwing quarters in there? Now it's just not even fun. You just put your voucher in there and you like hit the freaking button and like half of them aren't even slot machines, you know? So, I mean, I'll still play a slot machine, penny machines, max bet, maybe, but I do love some blackjack. So I'm excited because we're going on a cruise in a little bit. So I will be spending a lot of time in the casino. Not that I have a problem or anything. Recently, I've also been thinking about starting to rewatch one of my favorite torture shows again, aka Normal People. And I just feel like every year you have to do a rewatch, especially like during seasonal depression time, you know what I mean? Because like you're already depressed, so why not add to it? Although the weather's been really unusually nice here lately. So the seasonal depression it's not as bad as anymore. But I still feel like I need to rewatch because also like my algorithm on TikTok right now is all Normal People. And it just literally like, I'm like dying inside because I need to watch it again. Because Daisy Edgar Jones is like, I love her. I watched Twisters the other weekend for the first time. Don't know why it took me so long to watch it. Actually, I do know because I have a kid and I don't go to the movie theater. Because also, I think I got spoiled living in Birmingham because they had like one of those movie theaters that's like bougie, where you have like the reclining seats. You can get like food and alcohol, like literally like I don't remember what movie it was that one of me and my friends went to see. But like we got a full ass bottle of wine. Like so nice. And like and then it's like surround too. And like the chairs like vibrate when stuff happens. So I'm like, okay, this is really cool. Matthew and I think even went to see like Top Gun there and it was like phenomenal. Here, movie theaters, subpar, very subpar. Like they have not done any like super major renovations. And so I just don't want to go. Plus, I mean, I think even like then at the bougie movie theaters, it's still like, I want to be in my PJs and I want my blanket and my snackies and I want to be able to get up and go pee when I want and pause it. And I want to rewind if like Matthew talked and shouldn't have been talking, or if I didn't understand what happened. So anyways, that's why it took me so long. But I think watching Twisters made me think, oh my God, I need to watch Normal People again. And then that's been my entire algorithm. My next question though, because I know everyone loves a torture show, and I was just talking about how I love a torture book sometimes too. It's been recommended to me by a friend before to watch one day. And I tried. First episode, tried. Literally, what is the hype? I'm like, I didn't even get through the first episode because it was that garbage to me. Please don't come for me. But like, maybe it gets better. Maybe it's one of those you have to kind of like get into. But I'm going to be honest, those are really, really hard for me because like with my ADHD, you have to hook me within like the first like 5 minutes or I'm just going to be on my phone, which is probably why I didn't think one day was good because it didn't hook me within like the first couple minutes. So then I'm just on my phone. And then when I finally pay attention, it's like, what's even going on? I have no idea what they're even doing. So is it good? Do I need to give it another try? Like how many episodes in before it's good? Let me know because I'm looking for another torture show to get into because I'm missing out on one. Okay, another recommendation from a friend that I honestly feel like is the best recommendation ever is that every episode at the end or towards the end, like myself or my guest has to give like their feral thought of the week. So here's my feral thought for the week. Brace yourself, okay? Funniest people are going to either be kids from divorce, kids with a dead parent, or gays that had to be closeted and or married a woman. My great thing about that is I checked 2 of the boxes: dead parent, divorced parents. So we love that for me. The other thing about that though is that those 3 people, so dead parent, divorced parents, closeted, maybe even married a woman and then had to get a divorce and then found out that you found your man's. I think they're kind of the mentally most fucked up ones, maybe, depending on, what you did for yourself. But also, like on that flip side, I feel like trauma and funny go hand in hand because you have to experience something, right? And maybe not even like full trauma, but like maybe being bullied. Like if you were never bullied or called ugly in middle school, I can't be friends with you because clearly you're not funny and you've not experienced what you need to experience in life to be my friend. It's just not going to work. You know what I mean? Why do I think that these people are the funniest people? Because I think that life experiences have made them have a dark sense of humor, and I prefer a dark sense of humor. I actually don't really know what other kind of senses of humor there are, like categories. I know there's like dry humor and then obviously dark humor, which is like my favorite like thing ever, especially with people who you don't know. And then you're randomly like, they're like, oh my God, like you're so accomplished. And I'm like, thanks, my mom died when I was 9. And like their faces are just like, and I'm like, oh no, we're good. Like, but yeah, like that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm hilarious, right? So I think that really helps those people be funny. Think that also maybe helps them be a little mentally messed up, because if my favorite pastime is making people feel uncomfortable by having a dark sense of humor, what does that say about me? Probably not something good, but oh well. So yeah, that's my feral thought for the week. I thought it was a pretty good one. I definitely had more, but I was like, this is top 10. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap up episode 2. Thank you for listening. As always, be sure to connect on my socials. Still rocking it with the Insta and YouTube at Feral Thoughts Pod. I'll probably get a TikTok started up going. I'm going to hope for the same user because I don't think it will be taken. And make sure that you stay up in the loop, vibing on my socials, subscribe, and leave a review, comment. Let me know what you want to hear. If there's anything that in the future you feel like would be good for an epi. I'm all ears. Okay. Until next time, my rats.